Welcome to Chapter 5, Chromatic Passing Chords, Diminished Chords, and Augmented Chords. Here you're going to learn how to fill space with half-step motion and use some chromatic voice leading. We're going to start by taking a look at something I call chromatic passing chords. This is when you play in a key and you use common chord changes, but you fill the space in between chords that are a whole step apart with some half-step motion. To begin, I'm going to give you an example in the key of F. And this progression is played 5, 4, 1. And you're going to notice that the second time through, I put some half-step motion in between chords 5 and 4. Sounds like this. You hear something similar done in the song The Wind Cries Mary by Jimi Hendrix. So in this example, the 5 chord is C and the 4 chord is B flat. And I put in a B in between. It's just a little stepping stone. Obviously there's no B in the F major scale. You wouldn't think of this as being borrowed from another scale or anything like that. It's simply a half-step chromatic movement. You hear some half-step chromatic movement at the beginning of the Wind Cries Mary. Sounds like this. So the tonic chord is F, and here I'm playing an F power chord. Then I put the 5th C in the bass on the 6th string. And in the song, Hendrix actually approached the F chord with some half-step movement like this, starting on E flat, then E, then F. Then he plays an inversion of the F chord. You go to F with an A in the bass. This would be taken from a G form bar chord, and you hammer into that A. And again, you back up a couple of frets, and you have half-step motion. So you wouldn't think of those half steps as being from another scale or anything like that. It's just chromatic movement. Hendrix also used half-step motion in the song Bold as Love. That song starts out in the key of A. It's a 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. And then later has a section where it moves up to the 4 chord D, and it plays a slightly different progression. It also has a borrowed chord in there. It's got a G, which would be taken from A mixolydian mode. And this section of the song sounds like this. Then it repeats. And then there's some half-step motion connecting G to A with a G sharp or A flat in between. And I like how the band really emphasizes that with the rhythm and with all the instruments syncing up on it. So that's another example of some half-step motion. This next example uses the chords G and E minor, and then connects them with some half-step motion. This is based on figure 5-2 from the book, and it sounds like this. So obviously G and E minor are related and they fit together, but the G flat, or you could call it F sharp, and the F, together all these chords don't fit in one key. This song is just based on this chromatic half-step motion going from G down chromatically to E. Sometimes you hear this done in heavy metal music with power chords, would sound maybe something like this. And usually, when you hear a movement like that, you wouldn't want to try to fit all of those notes into one scale or think of it as coming from one scale or modal interchange. It's usually riffs like that are based on just chromatic half step.